30, sunny on Thursday with a high of 53. That's the latest from Oak 93.5. I'm nowcast meteorologist Matthew Harding.
Raleigh, North Carolina. We got a show for you today. Just giving you a little preview. Raleigh, North Carolina. Welcome to the RDU Live radio show right here on Oak 93.5 WRLY. If you are listening on the FM dial and you're driving down the highway, I appreciate you for tuning in. Hey, be safe, buckle up. And turn us up. This traffic out here in the Triangle is pretty hectic right now. So be safe. And if you're watching online on YouTube or Facebook, I appreciate you for tuning in. And like they've been telling me to say this: hit that like, subscribe button, all the above. They say it helps the algorithm and all that.
But not while you're driving. Like
not while you're driving.
You should be listening. Yeah, you shouldn't be watching while driving.
Yeah, if you're driving, just listen. Just reach over and turn us up. Well, maybe if you're in a Tesla, you might be able to watch on the screen.
It's coming. It's coming.
Coming.
The technology's coming.
So you're hearing another voice over there. You're hearing another voice. We got a jam-packed show for you today. We have Mr. Adam Lee Decker in the studio with us today. Say hey to the people, Adam.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me back. What's up, everybody? Yeah, like I said, get home. So Cam says, let's get home safe. And happy to be back, man. Really happy to be. We had some unfinished business last time.
We had some unfinished business. And the people have been asking for Adam Lee Decker to come back. So
happy to be here.
I appreciate you. So, hey, this is an interactive show. Remember, when we are not playing music, we got a couple tracks to play. But when we're not playing music, that phone line is open. So that phone number is 919-899-9305. That's 919-899-9305. Okay? Remember, when we're not playing music, phone line is open. So this is a conversation between me and Adam, but also with you. All right. So before we deep dive into the journey of Adam Lee Decker, we always want to talk about something that's relevant, something that's going on. So one off the top of the head is it's Christmas time, and there's a lot of artists in the area that have come out with some Christmas records. That if you're trying to build a strong playlist, these are some names that you want to remember. CJ Baker, as we all know, he's been on the show before. CJ Baker has a record out. Aaron McCoy, he's also been on the show before, saxophonist. He has a record out. Coming on the show a little bit later in January is a guy named Michael Georges Jr. He has a record. And Marcus Anderson, he has a record out. And what I'll do is I'll put their names and the title of the records in one of the chats for one of the videos. Streams that we have, just in case you're looking to build a strong playlist for the Christmas time. Something else that I wanted to talk about really quickly. I'm not sure who's listening, who might be a sports fan, but we have a lot of sports teams in the area, right? So that's sports is always something to talk about when it comes to colleges. And just looking at this football thing for just a second. Adam here. I walked into the station and he was like, man, did you hear about Florida? And I was like, yep, I did. And it just, everybody has their feelings about college sports and athletics, and that's all well and good. But when it comes to this college football playoffs, man, they say next year it'll be a little bit different.
They said that. I don't have the actual time where, they actually switched to the college playoff, which was only 4, and then there was 6. There was honorable mention, right?
Right.
But every time they make something, no, we got to fix. And then here we are again. You got 13-0. You got the Seminoles just getting, I don't even know.
They got shafted. And so just to kind of fill the people in just for a second, if you haven't been following, the college football regular season just wrapped up, and they have a playoff system of sorts, I guess if you want to call it that. And the way that they choose the teams to be in the playoffs, it's not just by record. They have a whole committee that kind of honestly arbitrarily chooses. But and so Florida State University, they're in the ACC. So, in our area, we're ACC bound. And Florida State is in the ACC. They won the conference. They won the ACC conference championship. They're also 13-0.
Yeah.
So they're in a Power 5 conference, which is the ACC. They won the conference championship, and they are undefeated. But they did not make the playoffs. And there's a couple teams that did make the playoffs that have a loss on their record.
Two teams that have a loss on their record. Yep.
And Florida State got ousted. So, it's the whole conversation about college football and the SEC. And, could there have been a playoff without an SEC team in it? That
fun little facts to add to this thing. ACC was 6-4 against the SEC this year.
Ooh.
The Florida didn't give up 30 points in a single game all year. Okay.
Wow.
More yards in the ACC championship than Michigan had in the Big Ten championship. They held Louisville to 6 points. Right.
Wow.
They beat 4 top 25 teams. They won with their backup and I think their third string too. I mean, I'm just saying, the coach is disgusted, and he should be.
I mean, he should be.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily a Florida fan, but just, fair is fair.
Yeah.
Fair is fair. So you said they beat the SEC 6-4 as far as ACC versus.
The ACC beat basically it's the SEC and it's the committee being like, we can't have a football championship with the SEC, and you can.
And you can.
You
can, and it sounds like almost holistically the ACC was a stronger conference than the SEC.
Yes. Very much so. And well, I mean, and again, you can break that down. How about this? I would say the ACC is equal to the SEC right now as far as play goes.
Okay.
I know that Clemson had they kind of had a dipping year.
Yeah.
Then they ended up beating. I mean, they ended up getting good again. I mean, it's Clemson, so it's just inappropriate. I'm looking for something else too, because it goes towards it. But I mean, men's basketball has it down.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know that people are like, oh, you can't compare that. But when can we start to compare that? Because if you think about betting for football in general, the only time it gets really crazy for betting, I mean, I'll say this. I'm just saying football's the top betting.
Oh yeah, of course.
Thing,
yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Whether people like that or not, it just is what it is. James Madison. Have you been seeing what they're doing this year?
No, what are they doing?
Okay, so they are. Let's see, I'm going to my thing, but they're undefeated. They beat Michigan State at Michigan State.
Oh, wow.
They were down at the end of the Kent State game, and basically everybody was like, "Hey, thanks so much for blah blah blah." Like they figured it out. They tipped the ball. They went to double overtime, beat them.
Wow.
And I mean, they've been doing real big things. Real big things.
James Madison.
Trying to find where they're at. Yeah.
I watched the we're kind of hopping back between sports, and I watched the end of the Pac-12. So if you're really into football, then you kind of know about the Pac-12.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just the way these conferences are shaking out, man. And I've always had a personal not beef, not vendetta or anything like that, but just a questioning of the concept of the Power 5 and Division I, and you have what FBS versus what it C
the FBS and the FCS
and the FCS, yeah. So just and I understand why. I understand why they have different why we have different conferences, why we have different rankings, but like this Florida State thing, and like the Pac-12 going away, is it fair? What's fair? How do we come to a system of fairness?
Yeah. I was just bringing up James Madison again because, I mean, they're ranked 18th right now. I forget what conference they're part of. James Madison, not the Sun Belt. What are they a part of? Come on, give me more. I forget. But how about this? It's one of the smaller, lesser conferences, I would say, and I don't mean that. I don't necessarily mean that.
Sun Belt. They're Sun Belt.
Yeah, the Sun Belt, right? But it's you don't think of a power team, especially football-wise, the Sun Belt being okay, they're going to be able to beat an SEC team.
Right.
But I mean, it's just one of those things where if they start playing each other,
Right.
Bouncing around ACC hockey. I'd love to see North Carolina have to play Cornell.
Yeah.
And get beat up for a while and then just get recruited.
Yeah.
Like it's about like that whole flow, and there's just more money to be made in general.
And,
there.
there's more money to be made on both sides of the table.
Mm-hmm.
On both sides of the table. And I it's like they say, strength of schedule and all that, and then you talk about, there's only 13 games,
Mm-hmm.
in a season. When we're talking about football, and
Sure.
then I personally, I wish it could be a little bit different, but I like. I'm saying this very cautiously.
Yeah.
I like the way that basketball is done with the tournament.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
Your smaller conferences. If you win out that, then you at least get a seat at the table. You might be a 64 team playing a 1, but
Right.
you're at least in.
And there is something to be said about, like like conference, or sorry, the tournament's just boom, boom, boom every other day. Basketball can be played more than football can be.
Well,
let's
just extend it to make it 3 or 4
Exactly.
weeks long. Then
I mean, do you remember when the FCS, I think, and then some of the smaller conferences played the spring of 2021?
Yeah.
There was some spring ball, and
There was
like I
spring,
don't like. I remember my wife looking at me like she's like, "It's Saturday." She's like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "It's football.
It's football. It's
like
football.
It's one of those silver linings of COVID.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Just, because I think football can be all the time, but at the same point, like you play that, and then if you were to play some spring ball too, and basically like the lesser conferences, they play a little bit of spring ball. And then they're sort of ranked into like what goes on in regular fall ball.
Yeah.
And I mean,
yeah.
I'll watch football.
Oh yeah.
It's pizza on a bagel, man. I'll do it anytime.
Hey. Hey. It doesn't matter if it's hot, cold, or in between. I can watch some football.
Yeah.
I can watch some football. If anybody out there is listening, we're in Raleigh, North Carolina. I don't know where the president of the ACC is, but if any of those athletic directors might be listening, let's figure this thing out.
Yeah.
Let's figure this thing out.
Yeah, let's change this whole show. Like, it shouldn't be about like my music. Or anything. Let's just talk about sports.
Let's just talk
I'm fine
about
with that.
sports. Let's talk about sports. So another one, I didn't watch the game, but you brought it up to me, the Hurricane. So if you didn't know,
Yeah.
I think most people out here know who Adam Lee Decker is. But if you didn't know, one of the accomplishments, one of the many things that Adam Lee Decker is known for is he sings the national anthem at the Hurricanes hockey games. And
Sure do.
And as I walked into the station, he told me about Florida State, and he was like, "Oh, did you see what happened to the Canes?"
Yeah, exactly.
So let us know what's going on with Canes.
Yeah, so they're 14-9-1 right now. It's kind of a middle of the pack for them right now. I mean, they've just had a really solid start the past 3 or 4 years. Everybody's, of course, questioning Roddy and what's going on.
Right,
So it's
right.
more of a normal start to the season. Goaltending injuries, Freddie got that blood clot.
Yeah.
That's a couple weeks back, and that's like
Yeah.
indefinitely he's out. So
Yeah.
that's tough. Auntie's banged up a little bit.
That's a big deal, honestly.
Yeah,
That's a big deal.
He played a good game last night. It looks like he's doing better. Like, but Kuchekov, he's coming up and just trying. I mean, like the speed of hockey.
Yeah.
He's still only 21.
20. Yeah, he's 21. Yeah,
I think
yeah,
so.
Yeah.
I mean, he's young, and
Yeah.
he's
got time.
huge. Yeah, and he's shown greatness, but you want to trust him, the way we did Ned back in the day.
Yeah.
when we needed
Yeah.
him. But
Yeah.
the thing is, what's cool about Kuchekov is just like he's not twice the size as Ned, but I mean he's a big boy.
He's a big boy. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but things are, and like I think they're resting players as well. I know there's been issues not playing. He came back from Philly this past year.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
D'Angelo. There we go. Yeah, D'Angelo. But they're resting him, and he's got better points when he's on the ice and all that. There's just a lot of logistics, I think, that are going down, and everybody's just worried because we're 5 games over 500. We're at game 26
yeah.
82. So we're not hitting the panic button, but we're definitely the middle of the pack.
Yeah, we're middle of the pack.
And we've not been middle of the pack for a while, so everybody, locally is nervous about that. I mean, we're second in our division right now with 29 points. The Rangers are killing it with 37.
Yeah.
So,
I look at it. So I used to not be a Hurricanes fan or a hockey fan. I used to not watch hockey. Wasn't my thing. And then coming into this area still wasn't my thing. And it just so happens that I actually do some part-time work over at the stadium for the PNC Arena, whether it be hockey or basketball. NC State basketball, once again, plays at PNC Arena. And something that hit me kind of as I started working, I started to I actually have to watch the games because I'm doing something. Got into hockey as it's in itself, but then also became a hometown fan.
Yeah, for sure.
Because if you think about it, and most people know this, but it hit me later on, is the further we go into the playoffs, the more commerce it is, right? So the longer the season goes for us, the more hotels, the more restaurants, the more part-time opportunities that I get over at the arena. And so there's always this feeling for me is when I'm looking at, for 500, like, are we going to make the playoffs? And let's go as far as we can. That's just my, my general, how I keep up with the Canes. And it's the further we go, the more money I make.
It's like exactly.
Let's call it what it is.
Right. And this is good too. Because I think August 21st. It looks like I don't know if I'm looking at it correctly, but plans the works, the PNC Arena Raleigh Council and Wake County Commissioners have $300 million.
That's right.
So
that's right.
I just saw something else that they may be relocating Red Hat in this. I don't know. Again, it's a quick Google search, but bottom line, there's going to be an amphitheater there. There's going to be a hotel there, I think, or hotels.
Yeah.
There's going to be things to do there.
Yeah.
And they're going to upgrade inside the building.
Yeah. I heard about the money. I just didn't know what they were doing with it, what the plan was.
Yeah. So
they're doubling down because they just signed another deal. The Canes did with the arena.
Yep.
I think it's like a 20-year deal or something.
Yeah, 2044, which I mean, doesn't that sound kind of crazy?
Yeah, right.
Just 2043 or whatever it is. But all I see is, for me, I'm like, oh man,
yeah,
I could be, I could be doing this until I look like Santa Claus,
right?
Which is
Right.
I'll be 60 years old.
Wow,
I'll be 60 at that point. Right?
Wow,
where are you gonna be in 20 years?
Oh, man, I'm not far behind you.
Yeah,
I'm not far. I'll be in my 50s.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be in man.
Yeah.
And I'm already. It's cold outside, and I can feel it in my knees. I'm not even trying to think about it. I'm not even trying to think about it.
Yeah, man.
So we kind of hinted at it a little bit. We got Adam Lee Decker right here in the studio with us, and we're talking right now. We're just kind of talking about what's going on in the area, and we're talking about the Hurricanes. Like I said, he sings the national anthem at the Hurricanes. If you have not heard, if you have not been to a Canes game, whether you like hockey or not, it's just one of those things in the area to say that you've done it. And I would say do it more than once, but if you haven't ever been to a Canes game, definitely go check one out. I'm not necessarily plugging, I'm not affiliated, but it's a part of the Triangle. It's a part of who we are.
You're affiliated with the Triangle.
Yeah.
You're affiliated with the culture, what's going on locally. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, you got to check it out.
You got to check it out. And then we have, the celebrity over here that's going to, on the ice singing the national anthem. And so we've had Adam on before. If you've been listening to the radio station, to the show itself, you've probably seen a clip or two of Adam on here with me. And we had some unfinished business. We kind of went a little bit quickly just to kind of get through some things and glossed over just the kind of the breadth of his work and what you've been doing. And so the fans pleaded with me. They said, "Hey, Cam, we need more of Adam. We need more of Adam." And so I delivered. Okay,
that's what you do.
He's kind of hard to track down, but he made time out of the busy schedule for you guys to come back and talk to the people. So we appreciate you for being here, man.
I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to talk to anybody, man. Just glad to again, meet and just be a part of talking. Just talking about sports, just talking about local stuff. I'm just really happy to be in this area. It's a great place.
Yeah. So speaking of this area, what are some things you've been doing lately? So you were on about 2 months ago. What have you been doing during that time?
Mm-hmm. So I've been running. Actually, we kind of mentioned that like I'm in a band and I've got my own little setup, and we can go more into detail as far as that goes. Mm-hmm. We're running around doing shows and festivals and things like that, but also I've been cultivating locally just these open mics and the whole open mic world, which is really nice.
How's that been going for you?
It's been going well. It's been going really, really well. I've actually met a keyboard player through that, and we used to be like I said, I was a trio for a long time, guitar, bass.
Yeah.
And, I play drums and then do like the vocals, and then I met Glenn Cance, who's playing keys for me now.
Okay.
So, we're a trio plus one.
Nice.
You can call that a quartet,
So
but like it's just fun. We're talking like, it's a trio. It's 4 people. We're just being ridiculous with it.
I like it.
Yeah, but it's just cool to be able to network and find people locally that want to work. And the thing about me hosting an open mic is I don't, I play a little bit of keys and I'm working on that. I'm actually going to be coming out with a. Actually, what you're asking here for is the music. So I'm going to be coming out with a cover soon, and we can talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to be recording tomorrow night.
Nice.
But just being able to meet everybody and be able to help them connect to venues, help them connect to recording studios, have artists connect and work together. It's been this kind of it's one thing to have a music night that financially brings some bread and butter to the table, but back home. But it's just cool to be able to just meet these people, and everybody's just so genuine. They like the vibe I'm bringing. They like and there's this again. It goes from bluegrass to we got this guy Christian Nightman. He's going to be coming out with an EP too, and it's awesome R&B. He lets me sit in and play. As far as that goes. So like what's cool is the genres of music are through the map. We got a professional violinist that comes and works on some Vivaldi pieces and different classical pieces too. So it's just kind of all over the map.
Yeah, I've been to
fun.
I've been to a couple of the shows when you were over at Growler Girls. I haven't been to the Faros.
So exactly. Growler Girls, that one's shut down for now because it's seasonal. It's outdoors.
It's outdoors.
DeFair's the same way. DeFar. I'm not quite sure how you say it. By the way. So you got to talk to Greg. It's just if you're from Brooklyn, it's DeFair's. If you're from upstate New York, it's DeFara's. Doesn't matter. Great pizza joint, carry. It's all that matters.
Yep.
But yeah, so those are seasonally done. But I do have 2 that I'm doing right now, and I'll do them in order. So I'm doing a brand new one this actually coming Thursday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's called Georgina's Pizzeria Restaurant in Morrisville.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like Davis Drive, and it's kind of right near the Wegmans and the Walmart right there.
Yeah. For sure.
So like she's got a beautiful patio out there. We'll probably be indoors, but she's got great Italian food. She actually let me bring home some of her vodka sauce. It's real good, man.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely.
That's perks of the gig, huh?
They got exactly. Yeah. They got some beer and wine there, and you guys can come out have a nice Italian dinner, and they got good pizza and all that too. And what's nice is she's looking for Rosemary's her name. She's looking for talent to book for the year for the upcoming season. So that's what so there's incentive to come. And there's incentive to work together because you probably get a gig out of the whole thing and connect, and network really well. You know, the thing about I know musicians like I don't know, growing up in my 20s, I was just I was really just about what I was doing, a little selfish, a little but we got over that, which is good. But a lot of these younger guys and gals that are coming right now, that's kind of all over, and the anybody who comes isn't thinking about everybody's got their work that they're doing, right? But it's everybody's wanting to work together, encouraging, and just collaborating, and it's really, really good.
And where's the other spot that you had?
Sure. So that's Georgina's Pizzeria Restaurant, and that's from 7 to 9, the first and third Thursdays of each month.
First and third Thursday
of
every month. Okay.
Exactly. The next one, shout out to Southline Brewing Company in Cary.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that spot yet? Yeah, that place is incredible. They have a lot of great things going on. I actually just played a show with my Trio Plus One.
Your Trio Plus One?
This past weekend, it was supposed to rain all Saturday, and it didn't.
Yeah.
They do outdoor campfires and stuff like that. It's actually right across from Vicious Fishes over there.
Yeah.
And they have this outdoor common area that they're probably going to be running festivals and things like that at too. But I've been running the open mic there the second and fourth Tuesday of every month.
Okay, second and fourth Tuesday of every month.
Yep. So that's going to be coming up. Not tonight, because we're here.
Because we're here
doing this. But we're going to be doing it on the 12th from 7 to 9 as well.
I was about to say, hey, he left the open mic night just to come on the radio show to talk to you guys.
Nope.
No, so it's second and fourth Tuesday.
Yep.
And then first and third Thursdays.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
I got to say that you got to say that carefully.
Yeah, you gotta slow that one down just to make sure that the listeners are getting it. So that's Southline and Georgina's.
Georgina's, exactly. Yeah, you got to sound like what's his face from Boyz II Men, like the first.
There we go.
Baby, I'm sorry.
I'm glad we're recording. I'm so glad we're recording that. Not to use that one, but Yeah, so like you said, man, one of the things that I'm even trying to do on the show, just in general, just the whole concept of this thing is just to bring people together and have conversations, of course, promote music, but like you said, create that community, create that network, or not even just create it, or become a part of one that already exists, and just kind of add a +1 to it.
Exactly, add a +1, but also just create, because I'm like, I know you have who you have, and I have who I have. And that probably crosses a little bit, but also like, what, how can we take this show? My thought is like, for example, what I want to do with Southline is we're probably going to be doing a Leap Day festival, because obviously it only happens it's a Thursday this year. Which is awesome.
That's cool.
And we're going to be competing at PNC. I think Ricky Martin. What's the trio that's coming there? It's Ricky Martin. They're doing it on Leap Day. It's Ricky Martin, and it's who's the. No,
I didn't even know Ricky Martin was coming.
Yeah, he's coming.
Cool.
It's worth taking a look at. But oh man. Anyways, so check that out. But anyways, we're going to be doing a Leap Day festival, and one of the things that I've been talking about there is like, you come to the open mic, and like not only gigs, but let's design that day of music. Just to be able to have a good time.
Is it Enrique Iglesias?
Yes, it is.
Pitbull,
yes, Pitbull.
And Ricky Martin.
The power trio.
Don't miss that one.
So I think it just came out, but also, so we're going to be competing against that and Carrie. But I'm just playing. But it's just going to be a good. It's a great venue. It's a good vibe. The placement's great.
Yeah,
and, The big thing too is they're big Canes fans.
Nice.
It's exciting to so that wheel for me is kind of coming together too, as far as like, hey, you sing the anthem. Yeah, I sing the anthem, but I hear you got a band. I'm like, yeah, so those worlds are coming together, which is really nice.
Speaking of which, I haven't been over there yet. Have you been to the new park over in Cary that they just opened up?
Oh, not yet. No, which one?
I don't know the name of it. It's like a community park. It's new. It's like literally brand new. They just cut the ribbon on it last week or so, but
Gotcha.
It's huge. I've only seen pictures of it. Cary's always been a nice place. Of course, it's Cary, but it's still growing.
Speaking of last night, the soccer field over there too.
Yeah.
I actually didn't tell you this, but I sang the anthem for the championship game last night.
Oh.
Yeah. So Stanford was playing Florida State. Florida State beat them 5-1. So there's some Seminole love there. If the college playoff's not going to help out, they
got some kind of love.
the girls got the championship this year. So.
You're doing it all, man. I didn't know you were, you singing anthems and doing open mic nights and
we're having a good time.
And you record music.
Yeah. We're gonna be doing that. I want to. I'm gonna keep the title. I want it to be a surprise when I come back.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's a song everybody's gonna know. It's a song everybody really, really enjoys. Basically, it's gonna be, I'm gonna be working. It's just gonna be me and a little bit of keys, and I think it's just gonna be one of those. I hope it gets some traction as far as like, it could go. I see it like during a movie, or I see it like, just kind of like it's one of those ones that you'd see on Idol, like deep in the mix. The lights are coming up, and like top 8, top 5 type thing. That brings them to the next level.
So speaking of which, now we're talking about music. You threw out a couple of little things here and there, dropping some names. And so if you're just being introduced to who Adam Lee Decker is, he sings the national anthem at the Canes games and also other places. And he's doing open mic nights and some things from his past, from yesteryear.
Oh yeah,
yesteryear. He created a pretty big name for himself by being. In bands and things, but he made some appearances on some shows. One of which was America's Got Talent, and the other one was American Idol.
Indeed.
Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah. Last time you guys played my version of Chris Cornell's Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Billie Jean.
Billie Jean.
Yeah, and so that was like I got a good response from that. I appreciate you guys showing that, and that's what I would have done. If I made the top 20, that was going to be my next.
That was going to be your one. Okay, okay.
But this next stuff, if you want to play, so the Fault Line back in 2007 was on the top. We made the top 20 of America's Got Talent. That's season 2, and this actually this version of Billie Jean,
the way you make me feel,
the way you make me feel by Michael Jackson. We kind of our EP was called Junkin' 'Em Up, and we definitely took a spin on this, again, a lot of people liked it. Some people didn't, but it got us to the top 20, and again, all a cappella, all voices.
You can't You can't argue with getting to the top 20.
Exactly.
So let's go ahead and run this track just so you can kind of start to understand who Adam is, where he's been, and what his sound is like. So this is The Way You Make Me Feel by The Fault Line.
The Fault Line, yes.
Line. Yep. Let's see what we got here.
Hey, pretty baby with the high heels on.
Yeah.
You give me fever like an air, but never known. You're just a product of loneliness. I like the groove of your walk, your talk, your dress. I feel your fever from miles around. But I picked you up in my car and we'll paint the town. Just kiss me, baby. You're gonna tell me twice. You're the one for me. The way you make me feel. You really turn me on. You knock me off on my feet now, baby. My lonely days are gone. Now come on, baby. I like the feeling you're giving me. Just hold me, baby, and I'm in ecstasy. 'Cause I'll be working from 9 to 5 to buy you things to keep you pushing and working and loving by my side. I've never felt so in love before. Just promise me, baby, you'll love me forevermore. I swear I'm keeping you satisfied. 'Cause you're the one for me. It's the way you making me feel. You really turn me on. You knock me off of my feet now, baby. My lonely days are gone. It ain't nobody's business. Come on, the way you make me feel. You really turn me on. You knock me off of my feet, baby. My lonely days are gone. The way you make me feel. You really turn me on. You knock me off of my feet, baby. My lonely days are gone. The way you make me feel.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was The Way You Make Me Feel, covered by The Fault Line.
Oh, yeah. And all voices, man. That's all voice stuff. I know there's a lot of people out there that like acapella. This is actually going to be more of an acapellic venture as opposed to the metal from last time, you know? So.
Yeah, that's right. I think we ended on a metal track last
we
time.
sure
That's
did,
right.
yeah.
That's right.
Because
That's
we
right.
got sidetracked just talking about,
everything.
everything.
Hey, that's what we do. That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
we do. So you were telling me, you said The Way You Make Me Feel by The Fault Line.
Yeah.
That was going to be what you did for the top 20 if you made
That's
it.
what we did for the top
That's what
20.
you did.
So Idol, exactly. So that's what we ended up doing to get to the top 20.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. And then after that, we got the boot.
Hey,
It's all right, man. It was good.
It's further than what 99% of the world will ever go.
And then the tour after that, we toured the nation. It was super fun.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it was a good time.
So do you like? Everybody has different phases in life.
Yeah.
But do you like touring more? Do you like being at home?
Man, I got two kids. I got a 10.5-year-old and an 8-year-old, and I do like being on the road. Don't get me wrong. I'm a family man for sure. I love my family. My wife still loves me in the house. I know that's good.
Yeah.
But I love being on the road.
Yeah.
I personally still love it. It's probably going to be one of those things when I physically start to not want to do that anymore. I got a lot of drive for doing that.
Yeah.
Now I keep it local now because there's enough work here and all that too. And plus, you got to be around for the kids' shows and all that kind of times and you make food and just help out. And, and just do all that and just be a good teammate and a good husband. But I love being on the road, man.
Yeah,
sure.
I can only imagine. I never toured from an artist perspective, but I had a job where I traveled, and that was pretty much the whole job. I was always gone.
Oh yeah,
and I like the traveling thing, but I get tired fast, man. You know, it wears me out, man. I'd rather be doing kind of what you're doing now. You know, keeping it local, and you know, man, if I have to go further than about 30 minutes away from my house, that's just too far for me.
Now, is that a pre-COVID or
This is
post-COVID?
This is
okay,
pre-COVID.
fair enough.
This is
so
pre.
now it's more like a 15-mile radius.
Yeah, it's like 15. Yeah, It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I hear that.
anything longer than 15, you might not be seeing me. So I actually live in Durham. The station is here in Raleigh, and you know,
I also live in Durham, man.
see, that's where it's at, Bull City. And you know, it's about man. It takes me like 45 minutes, you know, with traffic to get here, and I'm like, man, this is a hike. It's really not that far. It's only like 12 miles or something weird.
No, it's not bad. But if you got to take 70, it's just, I mean, you know, that took the time it took.
Yeah,
to get here, and you could sit here. If you leave, like 30 minutes before that, but then you'll be here like for what 45 minutes just waiting.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. So it's a trade off. It's a trade off.
Yeah.
And hey guys, don't forget if you're listening on the radio, in your car, if you're watching online, this is a call-in show. We're just having a conversation, just talking about different things. We're just talking about Adam Lee Decker and his journey and what's going on in the Triangle. So that phone number, in case you're just joining in, that phone number is 919-899-9305. That's 919-899-9305. Don't be afraid to call. If you want to put, I'm looking at the chat. If you know, if calling in is not your thing, if you got a question, put it in the chat. And if I see it, you know, we'll ask it. We'll ask Adam.
But you're not texting and driving.
You're not texting and driving. Do not text and drive. The chat is only for the people that's sitting at home in the comfort of their couch, or you know, wherever they might be on their laptops and all that good stuff. But if you're driving, your only option is to call in. Okay. All right. And do it hands-free, preferably. Tell Siri or somebody.
We're about safety. This is Safety 101.
This is Safety 101.
Yeah.
You know, they should make us driving instructors. That's our new gig is driving instructors. But so we just played the track, the cover, The Way You Make Me Feel by The Fault Line. That was some of your earlier days. You know, that was what, 2007?
That was 2000. I think that came out 2008 officially.
2008. So what year were you on Idol?
I was on Idol in 2012.
2012. Okay, gotcha. And what year were you on America's Got Talent?
2007.
So you did AGT first in 2007, and then roughly about 5 years later,
season 11 of America's American Idol. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. You were at that thing for a while.
Yeah, it was a good time. And like I said, there was times in there where I tried, you know, this wasn't America's Got Talent. We ended up making it immediately. That was great. It was a niche. We were an acapella group. We were young and hip and looking like rock stars, and that was fun. But you know, I tried Idol a couple times before that. I remember trying for the second season, being 19.
Yeah.
You know, I made like a couple cuts, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's gonna be great!" You know, and just hopes and dreams lost. I was like, you know, because actually, my dad took me out to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, and you know, we took a trip out there, and you know, I ended up sleeping on the curb.
Wow.
Waiting exactly like I mean, you know the hype of that whole thing. It was crazy. It was good times.
Like with when they show like the aerial shot of the sea of people. Yeah.
Those days are over with.
Yeah,
I've
right.
actually worked with a couple people, you know, that are doing online stuff for them, and they're just doing Zoom, and it's way more efficient.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
I remember those
first
days.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was the Simon Cowell days, right?
Simon Cowell days,
and
exactly.
Randy Jackson.
So, well, yes. That was Simon, Randy, and was it Paula?
Paula Abdul.
Exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice, man. That's I said it before, taking us back to yesteryear.
Yes,
yesteryear. This is pre-COVID, of course.
Almost 22 years ago.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
crazy. So you got the Fault Line. What tell us about Spaceship Days?
Yeah. So after the Idol journey, you know, locally I was getting some pull, and people were watching, and I had a group reach out to me and was like, "Hey, listen, we got some tracks. We got a singer who doesn't want to do it anymore. We like what you're doing. We like how you're doing it. I think you're going to work well with these tunes." So I actually re-recorded some of their stuff for a couple albums, couple EPs off of Idol 2013. Then we actually we recorded hard that year. We actually recorded 2 separate EPs and ended up pushing it to where, you know, like we made some contacts and got kind of Grammy considered.
Yeah.
For this next track we're on a show called "Saving the Universe." But it was really neat. Like I said, like, you know, it was a blast. We, you know, played, like, you know, when Deep South was open, we did a couple shows there, which was great. Went out to California and played the Roxy. You ever heard of the Roxy over there? Yeah, we played a show out there. And just, it was, you know, like, just kind of did some, again, like, you know, like, we're not singing covers, we're doing original music. So, you know, that scene's a completely different animal.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of good festivals, a lot of good collaborations, just lots of good stuff with that whole crew. It didn't last so long, but I mean, it definitely went, you know, we had that little push, and then 2015, 2016 kind of fizzled out, and I kind of started my, you know, started acoustic with them. We kind of shifted towards, like, you know, just doing covers and being like, you know, like taking our own thing and doing, you know, as far as writing goes, I'd like to write more, but I just, you know, I'm kind of a virus on an idea instead of writing original content, which I'm totally okay to say. I'd love to write original stuff, but I feel like every time I try, it's just like, I need a collab. I don't necessarily, whether it's the ADHD or just the, you know, spontaneous, what I need, just 1,000 things at once. I'd rather help an idea that's an original form. You know, yeah. So
it's always good to kind of know your strong suit.
Yeah, exactly.
And what helps you to be successful,
and not take over. You know, just, I mean, just, you know, like, here's some ideas. Take them, leave them. You know, as far as that goes.
Yeah.
But there's, like, you know, 1,000 ideas for one thing. You know, so
that's actually a really, and we're going to play this track in just a second. I just want to make this point. That's actually a really good call out, in my opinion, is especially if we're talking music and we're talking, you know, hopefully we got some young musicians or some old musicians, doesn't matter, listening.
Musicians.
Musicians.
Musicians. Exactly.
And just that concept of kind of knowing who you are as an artist, and what makes you successful, you know, whether it be in the writing phase, in the studio, on stage, just like really listening to yourself and not trying to, you know, there's a thing about pushing yourself and getting out of your comfort zone and trying different things. But then there's also a point of trying to do too much and realizing or not realizing that a collaboration, like we were talking about, building that network and going to open mics, there might be an artist who is not good at original idea, you know, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
And working with people and just opening yourself up to knowing who you are, but also being able to collaborate and make things work.
It really opens a door to yourself as well. I mean, not selfishly, but just, you know, so many doors that I would have shut when I was younger. I don't want to work with anybody. I'm doing my own thing. Well, but like, the thing is, it does take a village. It takes the branches. It takes, like, just kind of all doors being open. Yeah. You know, and working with, having faith as far as who you're working with, trusting that process, you know? Yeah. Yeah. No, that was a great call out. And I appreciate you saying that. And you like speaking to me as a non-musician, but, you know, just in life in general. You know,
I heard. Yeah. You know, just being able to collaborate with people and knowing your strong suits and being open to work with other people. Yeah. Is a big deal. So we got Spaceship Days. We have Saving the Universe. 2014 Grammy considered. I'd like to say Grammy nominated, but it's Grammy considered. All right, let's run this track.
From on high, it takes no time to forget the ordinary world. So I try with iconic eyes to look inside of everything and see if there's a soul. I am surrounded, I'm
from on high. It takes no time to forget the ordinary world. I am surrounded, I'm invincible, incredible, and I can always find a way, a way. I am surrounded, I'm invincible, incredible, and I can always find a way. I am surrounded, I'm invincible, incredible.
That was Saving the Universe by Spaceship Days. And something that I just found out that I'm kind of excited to share is that you really can't find that track too many different places. So we heard it all together right here live on the radio, on the RDU Live show on Oak 93.5. You heard Spaceship Days by Saving the Universe.
Yeah, if you want to hear that, get at me at Adam Lee Decker Music on all platforms, and I'll send it to you because it's a file.
See, and I feel privileged. I feel privileged that that I was able to talk to the man, to get the track, and actually be able to play it right here for the people live on the radio. And so we were just kind of talking, about a couple different things, and we wanted to make sure that we are on the up and up about it. And so we said Grammy considered.
Yeah, Grammy considered is not Grammy nominated. Remember that.
So, remember that. So when people talk about being Grammy nominated, they ask, were you considered or nominated?
Yeah. Call a spade a spade. It's all right.
And so we were just kind of talking. So we were just talking about collaboration and working with other artists. But you were sharing some different experiences. We don't have to get too deep into it. But at the point of we're talking about musicians and music and collaborating.
Yeah.
How do you know when a partnership or a band or a collaboration with a producer, how do you know when that relationship needs to go a different way?
Sure. I mean, the best way to, and I'm not the first one to say this, I guarantee. You can almost probably think about what I'm about to say here, but it's a relationship.
Yeah.
It's a relationship like you're going through dating. I mean, it's the same thing. Like whatever they have going on is now your stuff too.
Yeah.
Whatever they have like in their daily, whatever they have to do, you now have their schedule to deal with.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, so that's just what it is. When do you know when it's not going to go anywhere, when it has plateaued, when it has reached its peak?
Yeah.
Right? It's got to be a gut feeling, I think, for sure, which sometimes, I mean, that's a 50-50 ball. I really do. Like, I know that a lot of people say go with your gut, and a lot of people stick it out, and then they say they should have went with their gut, or they're glad they didn't go with their gut.
Right.
But it's all about that feeling, right? These relationships are kind of like an amoeba.
Yeah.
So we can morph and move. Will we evolve?
Will we evolve?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like that's the thing, and you just gotta, a lot of people that are stuck out their relationships, like you just gotta like be able to either like take a different route, right? Take a different route around. Also a good thing is just kind of give it time.
Yeah.
Exactly like working with some people, like it just doesn't matter. Like there's just relationships. There's going to be issues. There's going to be judgment. There's going to be jealousy. There's going to be, happiness. There's going to be sadness. It just is what it is. So, just taking the time and then making the best decision, like just for yourself, like just really, really thinking about that, meditating over it, like just, just like I say for yourself, and that might sound selfish. You want the good for the community. You want the good for the band, the good for the relationship. But how are you personally doing in that relationship? Because if you are not you are not going to give what that relationship needs.
Wow. So we've gone from being driving instructors to now we're relationship,
we were
advisors.
talking about but we were talking about the college football too, like the college playoffs. I mean, what else do we need?
I mean, this has become a variety show.
Like I'm kind of a fan of pickled stuff too. Like I'm not a huge fan of dill pickles and stuff, but like pickled carrots. We can go any route we want.
We can keep going. I like pickled jalapenos.
Those are good too. I'm a pickled Eggman myself.
So we're learning about collaboration. We're learning about the music. about your journey, and along the journey of this conversation, we're getting little nuggets here and there about, how you've navigated what 20, 25 years you've been doing this.
2005 is a band, like I think I can say this on the radio. I think it's okay, but so the first acapella group I was ever in was called the Sons of Pitches.
Oh, okay.
With a P.
With a P.
With
okay.
a P. That was actually their first album.
I get it. I see what you did there.
So
okay.
We actually used to do a lot of school shows too, so they actually had to have different merch. We were just SOP in the the greater surrounding elementary area, if you will. But but 2005 is when I started that journey. So it's we're close to 20 years.
Close to 20 years.
Yeah, been doing this professionally for 20 years, and it's taken a lot of twists and turns, and again evolved into different things. But it's been a fun journey.
Wow, 20 years, man! Shout out! Let me see if I can get that. Shout out to the 20 years. And so, just for the people who weren't listening for the old show, and if you did listen to the show before, we're just recapping a couple different things here. You sing the national anthem at the hockey games and other places as well. You've been on America's Got Talent, American Idol, and just for the people in our area. So you're from New York, correct?
From near Cortland, New York. It's actually near Syracuse, if you know where that is. Right off 81. But yeah, Cortland, New York, population 18,000.
Wow,
small.
Yeah,
not. I mean, like, well, I don't know how big Hillsborough is, but like when I go to Hillsborough, I feel
like
it feels kind of home.
Okay,
that downtown kind of looks like it's one of those just older strips, like like built in the 20s, built like like the like stuff that's just like those old buildings. They're actually doing some restoration projects there. It actually looks really neat, but yeah, it's like small town. Graduated with 160 some odd people in my class, so yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty small.
Yeah,
but I mean that's cool. That's good. And so you moved down here
2008.
2008. So you already started kind of in your music path and moved down here, and you've been down here ever since, huh?
I've been down here ever since. It was a 11-month a cappella contract as the Fault Line was changing, which we were still doing stuff with them, but there was another band locally here that is now Transit Vocal Band, which we'll get to in a moment. In the United Arts Council of Raleigh. Basically, I was just and I wanted to change the scenery.
Yeah.
And I was going to be down here for an 11-month a cappella contract, and met my wife in 2010. We married in 2012 and started having kids in 2013. And here we are.
And here you are.
Yeah, exactly.
And here you are. So you hit up Transit. What is it? Would you say
Transit Vocal Band?
Yep. Transit Vocal Band. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about Transit.
Well, it's just so funny because sorry, man. So when we go to schools, Transit Vocal Band. It's an interesting name. I like it a lot. I think we should just be called Transit. But the vocal band piece is one of the things we accent, kind of like the Fault Line did, as far as like we're trying to sound like a band without the instruments.
Gotcha.
Because we're trying to hit that, different market. We can be a little more rocky. We can do, like Queen, and we can do Journey, which we'll show next, and those kinds of things, and also do our spin on it. Again, always these original spins. How about this? In this whole thing, in this whole journey of almost 20 years, it's been like, how is my original spin of what's going on going to happen?
I got you.
But yeah, so we it's get a little off track, but as far as Transit goes, just we're able to do a lot of good quality a cappella, and just like as part of the United Arts Council of Raleigh, we always showcase that in August for that whole council, and we're known really well through the schools locally, and it's just that's been a great journey for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So we got a track called Separate Ways.
Yeah, let's take that back. So the National Acapella Competition, pretty sure that's what it was called. I don't think they're running it anymore, but back in 2017, we did a regional round in Virginia. And at the time, I was also in a wedding band. And I actually, so like for the finals, I actually had a conflict. Okay, so we work really hard on these 3 tracks, including the one that I was awarded on that we're going to show. But I remember sitting there in just such excitement and such fear, because we heard the names of the groups that were getting called, 4th place, 3rd place, second place. I'm like, You know, because we had the opportunity to go to sing on Carnegie Hall in New York City, which is an unbelievable opportunity. Something that you can never say no to. How about that?
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, oh boy, I got some work to do to go talk to the other band that I was in. But yeah, it worked out. It worked out. But you know, it's just like, again, those multiple irons in the fire. You know, just being local and professional.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not one wheel. There's many wheels. You know.
So, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, man. You have you know, in 20 years, you gain a lot of experience and have a lot of stories, man, and a lot of experiences.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of experiences. So we're coming up on time. We're going to go a little bit over this week, just a hair, because we want to get this track in, and then we're going to close the show out shortly after that. Is that okay with everybody?
Sounds good to me.
All right. So we got Transit Vocal Band.
Yep.
And we have the track Separate Ways.
By Journey, yep. And I was awarded Outstanding Soloist on Carnegie Hall for this track as well. So
the accolades just keep on coming. Let's see.
Here we stand, worlds apart, hearts broken into two. Sleepless nights, losing ground, I'm reaching for you. The feeling that is gone won't change your mind. If we can't go on to survive the tide, love divine. Troubled times, caught up in confusions and pain. Distant eyes, promises were made in vain, in vain, in vain. And if you must go, I wish you love. You better walk alone. Take care, my love. Miss your love. Someday love will find you. Break those chains that bind you. One night will remind you how we touched and went our separate ways. If he ever hurts you, true love won't desert you. You know I still love you, though we touched and went our separate ways. No! Someday love will find you. Break those chains that bind you. One night will remind you how we touched and went our separate ways. If he ever hurts you, true love won't desert you. You know I
Nice. So that was Separate Ways by the Transit Vocal Band.
Indeed.
And so I was asking you during that, how many people in that particular band?
Yeah, there was 4 on that track. We now have evolved to 5.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the amoeba is
The
evolving.
amoeba, exactly.
The amoeba is evolving, and that was all a cappella.
Again.
How do you say it?
Acapella.
A cappella.
A space C A 2 P's E 2 L's and an A.
Yeah. A cappella. I always say a cappello or something.
It's
something
fine.
weird.
Well, remember, it's acapella. That's the female of the church is what that means in Latin.
In Latin. Oh, wow. So we've
Now you know.
So and now we're Latin instructors. Man, I can't even. This is crazy right now. It's crazy what's going on. So we're coming up at our time. We went a little bit over today. Hey, DJ T-Wild, I know you're coming on after us. Forgive me for being a couple minutes over here, but we're about to wrap this thing up. And so before we go, I always want to, how can the people find and get in touch with Adam Lee Decker?
Sure. It's adam.lee.decker@gmail.com. That's the easiest way to just get a hold of me. It's Adam Lee Decker on Facebook, Adam Lee Decker Music on the X, which was Twitter, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then Adam Lee Decker Music on IG, Instagram.
So Adam Lee Decker. As I like to say, hey, if you just Google Adam Lee Decker, I'm sure one of those places will come up. Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah. There's the mugshot, and then no, I'm kidding.
Yeah. we tried to bury that one down the Google.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's how you get a hold of me. So
okay, and so I wanted to recap. Earlier in the show, we were talking about some of the things that you do in the area. So we were talking about some open mic nights. You got anything coming up in the next week or so?
Yeah. So 2 days from now, we got an open mic over in Morrisville at Georgina's Restaurant and Pizzeria, and again, that's going to be from 7 to 9 p.m.
7 to 9 p.m.
So this is the
first Thursday.
First and third Thursdays of the month. So it'll be on the 7th, and it'll also be on the 21st.
Okay, and then next week should have something on Tuesday, right?
We do. We're going to be. Exactly. We're going to be at South Line Brewing Company from 7 to 9 as well, and that'll be the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays of every month. So
of the month.
Come on out. I'm also this weekend. I'm playing at Tin Roof downtown in Raleigh.
Oh, okay. So you got some gigs you're playing.
6:30. 6:30. We got one of my various trios playing.
Yeah.
And then also on the 9th, me and Dom Bisbee are going to be playing Piper's Tavern from 9 to 12.
Okay. So you got some shows and some open mics.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up. You're working.
Next time we're singing the anthem is going to be the 17th. They're playing Washington, and that's at 6 p.m.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if you haven't seen Adam Lee Decker live out and about, you got multiple opportunities, whether it be at Georgina's, whether it be at Tin Roof, at the hockey game, somewhere. You can catch Adam Lee Decker out and about in the city somewhere.
Man, thanks so much for having me again, man. This is great.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you for coming on. We got to do it again.
Yeah.
We got to do it again.
There's more to talk about.
There's more to talk about, and the people they're already coming at me saying you got to come on the show. So you got to give the people what they want.
We're recording a track tomorrow. We're going to bring that back and show everybody.
That's what we do.
Absolutely.
That's what we do. Hey, Adam, I appreciate you for being on. I appreciate everybody for listening, watching, and hanging out with us. We're about 10 minutes over, but that's okay. Nobody's keeping track of the time anymore. It's 2023. Hey, I appreciate you. If you want to reach out, if you want to be a part of the show, you want to come on as a musician, or you can't find Adam Lee Decker and you want to come ask me where he's at, that's okay too. You can always reach us at McCarty Tech TV. You just Google that, and then something will come up. Instagram is McCarty Tech TV, Facebook, McCarty Tech TV, the website, McCartyTechTV.com. So it's MCCARTYTECH TV. MCCARTYTECH TV. Google that, and you can find us, and we'll like to have a conversation with you. Look, hey, if you're out there traveling, hey, buckle up, stay safe. We're here every Tuesday from 6 to 7, or a little bit over, 6 to 7 p.m. every Tuesday. This is the RDU Live show right here on Oak 93.5. I'm the host, Cameron McCarty, and like I like to say, let's go live.
This is WRLYLP Raleigh.